Oh, there it is. All right. Hello, 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 hello. So in today's live stream, we're gonna be discussing about if you got your first client, now what? This is a pretty basic, common question out there that I see everywhere in everybody's video, or even how to get your client. Um, I have discussed that in the previous live streams. If you guys haven't done so, go check them out. Some of them are really dragged out, and yeah, it's because it's a very new thing that I'm doing when it comes to live streaming it, answering the subscribers' questions, or anybody who strolls around and has a question for real estate photography. That's basically what I've been doing. I stopped it for a little bit because ever since I got back, I need to hustle uh, due to, you know, unexpected things that happen. I got scammed, and yeah, no other brand agent, but that's another story. Anyways, so today I would like to talk about if you got to the point where you got your first agent. Now the question begs, now what? What is there to do? You did the job, whether you got paid or not. Preferably if you got paid. Uh, Now, what is the next step? What do you have to do in order to retain those clients or to make sure that you keep the relationship going? So, the first thing that I would do is, sorry, excuse me. The first thing that I would do is stay in contact with them, ask them how's it going, how's the listing going. If you want to check out the listing every 2 weeks or so, to see how it goes, you first check on Zillow. And this is like extra work that you would have to put in. You know, this is where the networking phase begins. It's like you have to keep that personality that if you're an introvert like myself, it's very, 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 very difficult. But you have to keep pushing yourself into doing these things. Uh, this just comes to the business. Being creative, being a photographer, being an artist, it's all great and dandy. I wish that our field works in a way where people come to us because of our art or because of our style of photography that we take. That's not the case anymore because there's grandmas and moms and aunts doing it as well. And the number one reason why they do think they're succeeding, I guess, or they're getting that quick money is because they're thinking logically. They know how to play the game. And to play the game, you have to do some sacrifices. If you're an introvert like myself, I had to push myself to go to networking events, to socialize. You know, I'm a very, very quiet person. I despise parties. I despise talking to people because it's very exhausting to me. Maybe something's wrong with my brain. I don't know. But that's another that's a issue on itself. But so the point that I was trying to make is if you got yourself your first client, you did the photo shoot, you delivered the photos and everything like that. Now what? Now, if the I guess the strategy that you took in order for you to obtain that client worked, keep doing it. Rinse and repeat. After that, if you're booking photo shoots and whatnot, then I think that it's best for you to keep track of how the house is doing and trying to see if they sold or they're in escrow and stuff like that. So a really great way to do things is just if it's an escrow, send them a text message saying congratulations or give them a call, whatever fits your style better. Uh, by saying like, hey, congratulations, it's an escrow. You're almost there. You're almost into closing. If you need anything, let me know. Um, because not all, but very often, they tend to do a photo shoot with their cell phone, of course, of them handing down the keys. This is where you come in and offer them a mini photo shoot for the family that has purchased the home. So this is another great way for you to make a little bit of money. Everybody wins. He or she or the realtor gets a high quality video or photo shoot in exchange of your services. Um, and it's a great marketing piece for them because they love to showcase that they sold a home on Instagram and Facebook, even though 99% of friends and followers that they have are realtors. So they may say that they do it for their clients, but in reality, they do it to just show off, that they got it done. Uh, yeah, it's an ego problem. That's why I love this field is because you get to feed into their ego. And everybody has an ego. I don't want anybody to tell me otherwise. Like, oh, you're messed up because of doing this, or the way that you're thinking is wrong. Blah blah blah. No, everybody has a need. It's just that ego has money, and that's how we get paid. So, anyways, this is pretty much what I recommend very heavily is to keep track of the houses that you have shot before and make sure that you know you're staying on top of it. And this is where, like, when volume comes, you're gonna do it less and less and less. But ever so often, like I'm telling you at the beginning, every 2 weeks, check up on the listing. But as you get volume or more clientele, those 2 weeks are gonna increase to 1 month, 1 month and a half, or 60 days. So it's always a great way. Or even if they have sold a property a month ago, I still send a text message saying, "Congratulations, you got the home sold. I can't wait for the next one." That's it. Like, just plant the seed everywhere that you can. But that's what I found that it's the best way to do things when it comes to keeping retention or keep the agent to have you in mind for any other project. Here, I'm just double checking right now if everything is working and I'm not just talking to myself. Um, because I can see chat, but it's not really showing anything. So let me see here. Perfect. Okay, it is working. Alrighty. So that's pretty much my takeaway for when I first started. I started, I, I, you know, going back to the ego thing is I used to love to see how the listing is doing. I want to see, oh, did my photos work? Did the people have, uh, did it attract the people more than all the rest of the neighborhoods? So yeah, so that's come to find out that I was networking with them, but in reality, I was just doing a selfish thing because I wanted to know for myself. So yeah, it worked and stuff like that. For the people who hasn't had any clientele yet, and this was proven already by, I don't know if he's a subscriber or not, but a viewer, the strategy that I presented to the last live stream, I believe, or the last couple of live streams, I kept repeating that strategy because it's very crucial and it will save you a photography course that is worth nothing. If, if anything, if I know about courses, they're not experts, they're not gurus. They just hit a market that it was untouched and they got lucky. It's plain and simple. Or they watered down the prices so much that they made their first 100,000 really quickly, which seems to be the case everywhere. But yeah, so the strategy is to go on Zillow, find homes that lack a service, whether it's, they all have photography, they all do. That's not, you know, everybody needs photos in their listing, so that's already given. You can attack it by doing something different, offering them 360 tours, Matterport, um, drone, floor plan, virtual staging. Those 5 services, can be applicable to any listing that you see. Doesn't matter if the photos suck. Don't present yourself as that. Like, hey, your photos suck. So, you know, you might need it. So do a different direction and offer them an additional service. Be more of a value than your competitors because they may have a photographer, but he or she is not offering them a additional service that they can benefit, you know, to expose their property more. And that's how I would say it. I would, when I get on the phone, I would be like, "Hey, so and so, this is Daniel from Daniel Berganza Photography. I was looking at your photos. They look decent, but have you ever thought about getting a virtual staging? I see that the home is vacant, and very often people don't have the imagination or of what it takes to buy something when the room is empty. Most likely they will agree, you know, even to this day, like when I get first new clients and they have a vacant home, I offer them the exact same thing. And I present it that way. People don't have the visualize, say, like the imagination to see themselves in the house. So virtual staging, that's one of the biggest benefits of it, is that it creates a sense of uh, this is a home. It just feels complete. It gets you all warm and fuzzy. But those are the things that you need to help the buyer to navigate. Because if the room is too empty, there is no room for them to think, or they start overthinking of how can they put their furniture inside the house, you know. And I think that's the crucial part about virtual staging, is that it allows the buyer to navigate, the home in a way that, oh yeah, this is where I would put my couch too. Yeah, this is where the TV would go. The little details like that. So that's something that to keep in mind. Uh, you don't have to do it, but I mean, it's something that I recommend. I see a lot of your colleagues have, a couple of pictures virtually staged. It doesn't cost much. It costs only $30, per photo. And you don't have to do the whole house, just the main rooms that you feel it will present the home better. Something like that. I would do something like that. It's plain and simple. You cannot get any better than that. That's how I will present virtual staging for 360 tours. Did you know that 89% of home buyers right now are looking at homes through 360 or 3D scans? It's not only the pictures that they get gravitated, to make a purchase decision, but also a walkthrough where they can see and navigate the home themselves. In addition to that, it's a great way for you to filter out the window shoppers versus the real and authentic buyers that are very serious to purchase a home. So that way you don't have to do an open house, and have a bunch of people coming in. Sorry, man, throat is getting dry. That way you don't have a bunch of potential buyers coming in through your open house, and you know that's what happens a lot of the times, that there's a lot of people coming into the open house. They grab all the cookies and baked goods that they purchase for the open house, and they don't buy anything. So I think that 3D and 360 tours is a great filter for the the real buyers or the serious buyers versus the window shoppers. So that's my takeaway on 360. So all those little, like the five services that I have discussed, you can present that to the agents when you're going through Zillow, finding the potential client. Instead of saying like, "Hey, your photo sucks. Can I make a new one?" No, don't do that, because you never know who did the photos. It might be a family relative or a friend. So you don't want to be offensive in that sense. So by doing the virtual staging strategy, 360 Matterport, and what others that oh my goodness, I forgot. But you can go back and watch what I said. It blinked out. So those are like the basic strategies that you can do in order for you to find your first client. So if anybody is here, wants to ask a question, you're more than welcome to. And yeah, those are like my takeaways when it comes to client relationship. There's other things, other little details that you may need to know, but that comes later in business. Coming to find out, you know, here, I don't know if it's national, might be nationwide, but they do have contracts now that you're pretty much signing your rights, all the rights away for your photos to the agent. That's a bit of a controversial topic, I guess, for the buyers of your services, not for you. But I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate through that, because I got hit with it yesterday to sign the contract, which I did. I just cross out the line where it says you have all the right. The photographer gives all the rights to the agent. I just cross it, initialize, and signed it. I don't agree with it. You can do that with any contract. Is cross it out. Make sure you initialize it, and you're giving your initials, and you sign it. That's it. You're basically saying that you don't agree with this, but everything else is good. But yeah, I would take any questions. I think, how long have you been doing this for? 20 minutes. That's a great 20-minute video, I guess. But nonetheless, I'm here. I'm live. So I'm pretty much the first person that does this. And in this matter where I'm live, photographers can come to me and ask any questions if they wish to. And you'll get a response right away, instead of putting a comment from all the other YouTubers and you never get a comment back. I usually answer pretty quickly too. So I care a lot. Just a matter of consistency that I need to do. Let's see here. Let me see if this is going well. Like I'm seeing myself. Everything is clear. Everything is fine and dandy. I just saw my thumbnail and Jesus, YouTube could have chose a better photo when it comes to that. But yeah, let me see here. But yeah, this guy said we were talking back and forth in one of my videos, and he said it was a fantastic strategy, and that he got a client, and now it's just a matter of rinse and repeat. That's why I'm doing this, because he asked like, okay, so I got my client. Now what? You know, like what is the next step? Well, keep doing it. Keep doing it until it doesn't work, I guess, or you come up with a different strategy. But this is the best way for any photographer out there to find your first client. It's just the next step is just customer service, and I think which I don't want to bash anybody, but like a lot of photographers, they do not have customer service. I tend to fall in that category as well. Sometimes depends on my mood, but I wish I can hire, or I was planning to hire someone to be the face of my little small business, but it's just like hiring people. It is difficult. It is difficult. I'm not a multi-million dollar, you know, company, but you know, it is what it is. I offer her a decent pay, you know, $17 an hour plus commission, which I think he cannot get better than that. But I'm glad that it didn't work out anyway. For a reason, it didn't work out. But yeah, if you have the means to delegate that aspect of the business, you know, to somebody else to be charismatic, uh, you know, brings a lot of value to the clientele, knows how to handle clientele, then by all means, try to get someone. It will double up your business, I think, in my opinion. So just keep that in mind, but that's later on. You don't need to do that right now. You need to be the face of the company right now in order for you to attract those clientele. But yeah, so the holidays are coming. December 1st. I'm a, I don't know. I would like to do this every day, but I think I can only do it for an hour and that's it. The times I haven't figured that out yet. So I'm just gonna do this like lifestyle video for anybody who wants to watch it later. They can. Uh, my only issue is that I go off topic and I start talking about something else, and I when I start pulling it back, it's gone. But yeah, I think I leave a little nuggets here and there. That's why to those people who are watching and are watching the video this whole through, I appreciate you. And yeah, I mean, you get to see for yourself like the little nuggets of value that I drop. You may not need, I mean, my ultimate goal is for you to realize that you don't need to spend a lot of money in courses, that all the information is out there for free. You have Nathan Coolphoto, Rich Baum, Matt, I forgot his last name, but there's a ton of photographers out there that actually brings value. And yeah, I was one of the people that I really wanted to sell my own course. I decided not to. I rather, you know, do a live stream for the people who are coming in. Matthew Anderson, he's great. I highly recommend him. If you want to do a high end editing, Hunter Hunter L. I just put Hunter L editing, but real estate photography editing, and it will pop up. You know, all these other people who, you know, good for them to, you know, achieve the goal of 1,000 views per video and a lot of, you know, subscribers, because now they're creating their own courses out there for you to purchase at a ridiculous price. Uh, when it's this easy, nobody knows that it's this easy because they haven't had someone to present those ideas out there. I mean, I didn't buy a course. I just, you know, my nature is being a marketer. So that is one of the reasons why I am where I am, is because of my marketing skills. I know I can bounce back to whatever, uh, because I already have it embedded in my brain. I'm even gonna start planning to do cold calling again. Love doing those. Love doing those. I'm ready to get yelled at every once in a while. So I'm starting to think like that, but my clientele right now is giving me work, you know, little by little. We're starting to pick things up. Um, I see a few homes that are being renovated around my area, so I'm gonna start talking to them and, you know, providing value in my services as well. What else? But yeah, because bills don't, they don't wait. Bills don't wait. And in our field of creativity, it hardly pays bills. So uh yeah, don't get too guess not bamboozled, because it's, there's no such thing as bamboozle. You can make $1 million. I really believe you can in this field, but it has to be $1 million on paper, you know, gross, not net. Because to achieve that, you need more people. You need to hire more people, the editing plus facility, all these little things that you can achieve. You can be a millionaire on paper, but in reality, you just take a couple or 100 grand a year, which I have seen from one of the colleagues. But the way that they do it is that they water down the prices so they get a lot of volume and stuff like that. Now, do you want to be your own slave, uh, you know, of work? Then by all means do it. You know, if it means to get you to that point. But I guarantee you will feel burnt out after a while. You know, picking up equipment, uh, you know, making sure that you have everything. Uh, always buying more stuff. Uh, in terms of services, like, you know, I don't know. For me, like 70 grand a year, I'm happy. I don't need no more. I'm happy. I'm right where I want to be. You know, more money, yeah, sure, but not doing this, not doing this. You know, all year round. I have to do other things because I get bored really easily. And I have worked with people in the past, and that doesn't really work out as much. There's a few people out there that actually will be loyal to you, but just be ready for people walking out on you or don't show up to the listing because they quit or whatever. There's a ton of reasons out there, so just be aware. It's better to do things alone, even if it means that you're not going to become a millionaire overnight by doing this. Um, so yeah, that's basically my 2 cents. I don't know why I began to start talking about this topic. Yeah, this is what happens when I don't have nobody to bounce off ideas or talk to, like in chat. So I just start rambling, and I feel bad for the people who watches my videos after my live stream because they're gonna be like, "What the heck is this guy talking about?" Well, I guess this is my therapy session. We're at 31 minutes. Okay, so I have 30 more minutes to go. Hopefully, somebody comes by. Usually happens after my huge rant about photography. But let's see. What else happened? Hmm. I don't want to talk about the contract just yet because I still have to digest of what is it saying. I know that it's saying that you're giving away all the photo rights to the agent. The part that I don't understand is that you're responsible in case of a lawsuit or whatever the case may be. So this is why I suggest to many photographers, don't do fake grass, don't do any alter alterations to the photo that may cause this lawsuit, because I think they're cracking down on in that regard of like the super HDR, that it looks really really fake, sky swaps. This is something that Nathan Cool Photo does, and I actually admire, and I have done it for myself, is to photograph your own skies where you live. That way you don't have to deal with a Google HD, cloud sky out there, or find it in Shutterstock or whatever. Don't do that. Photograph it with your own camera, the skies and everything like that, even twilight, for twilight purposes. Photograph it your own, just the sky. Doesn't have to be the house. So just go on top of any garage, just get it. Now you have your own library to sky swap. I know that 99% of photographers out there uses an editor. You can just ask the editor, "Hey, can you swap the sky with this photos?" I mean, they're doing it for you, so why not? Uh, but yeah, so that contract says that, just that, is that everything is legit. There is no big alter, big changes on the photo. So meaning sky swaps, fake grass, everything is legit, and it's you visible. What you see is what you get, type of thing. Um, but yeah, so what I recommend is ask the agent to put a disclaimer. You know, for virtual staging, put the watermark on there of that this photo is virtually staged. Uh, because if they, that is it's so funny to me. They're so contradicting because they say, "Hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you add a little bit more color to the railing because the paints are chipping off? Can you Photoshop or can you make it uh the railing smoother because I can see that the paint is old and blah blah blah." And but then, she hits me up. She hits me with with that contract. And I'm like, well, for your contract, I'm not gonna do it, you know. And either way, I'm not gonna do it because that goes against the MLS rules. Either way, so I kept saying no, 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 until you know she was another agent. Cool, huh? Hi, Danny. In effort to grow and improve my business and help others with real estate needs, find find me. I would greatly appreciate if you can take a minute to please write a testimonial about my strengths and characteristics. Your feedback not only helps me, it helps me with potential buyers. Did you write a review? Thank you. Please stop. I have no idea who you are. Yeah, I don't I don't think I ever worked with that person. Interesting. But yeah, all those little details, like yeah. So it's very contradicting when that the purpose of that contract because you're saying like, hey, I have all the rights to use your photos to do whatever I want with it, even sell it to another agent if I get fired because I do a lousy job of selling a home, you know. And but if I get sued, you're responsible for it because you have the rights to like what? I have to go to my lawyer and ask her to read that for me because that's why I'm a photographer. I don't read like I hardly ever read and I don't write, let alone write. That's icky. Icky sticky for me. But yeah, very contradicting. I have to take it to my lawyer to see it and all stuff. And this is coming from the Association of Realtors too. That's a form, like, an official form that they have. Supposedly, they're making her to do this. You know, ever since I got scammed, I got double crossed. I got so many things that have happened to me, and these are all lessons for me that I don't trust the word anymore of what they say. You know, all I see is a business to business transaction, and if she wants all the rights to the photos, then she needs to pay me. There should be a fee. The photographer should be a fee because it even states the photographer is only an independent contractor to the agent. I'm not employed by them. I don't have a 1099 from them, you know. So that word is that word alone, independent contractor, can be so I don't know. Basically, what they're saying is that because I'm employed by them or through them, that they have the rights to use the photos, do whatever they want with it. It's kind of bizarre, you know. But like I said, I'm gonna take that to my lawyer. I want to see. Hold on. For anybody out there who is curious about the name of the form, I think I have it right here. And I don't want to try it on stream because it has sensitive details about me and the agent. Uh, this is a form. It's called CAR, which is CAR, California Association of Realtors. Maybe it's in California. Um, Form IA 621. That's when it was established last year. And this is the first time I ever gotten this. So yeah. Yeah, it's property images agreement. Yeah, it's PIA. Yeah, property image agreement 621. So yeah, so I gotta take this to my uh lawyer. But either way, I don't really give a crap about a measly apartment, you know. That's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cross out whatever I feel that is not right, which was okay. I'm not gonna read that because I suck at reading, but yeah, it pretty much says like the photographer hereby the irrevocably or irrevocably that see I suck assigns to transfer to REL, which is the real estate listing agent, all the photos worldwide, rights, title, and interest in and to all images, including without limitation all copyrights. But then under representation and warranty, it says that where's that? I don't have my glasses, so bear with me. Where was that word? Indemnify, which means that you are responsible for any cost or harm to pay for the ones who suffer by the photos that you took. So meaning a lawsuit that you're responsible for any cost of lawyers and blah 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 blah. Doesn't make sense. However, if you do not have a license and you're still flying a drone, this can be a potential problem for you if this is presented to your state or in your state or whatever. Because it says the drone use and I yeah again the word that your responsibility for any cost of harm or any legal action that it was taking place. So the photographer assures the listing agent and warrants that the photographer is knowledgeable of and will comply with all the rules and regulations applicable to use the drone in connections with photographer's work pursuant. And it goes on that the photographer is aware of any laws and regulations, meaning the licensing and insurance, whatever the case may be. And it specifically says that operation of unmanned aircraft over people, and they give the Part 107 license. Again, the photographer further agrees to pay any lawsuits or any legal action that is taking place. It will not hold harmless to the agent or the broker from any claims, demands, or liabilities. So, I think they're cracking down a little bit more, furthermore, on the people who are flying without a license. So that's you know, it's scary. I have a person too that does it for me, so I don't care. I don't do it. I'm actually selling my drone because next year I heard a ton of issues with the regulations and stuff. I'm just done. Or actually, I'm just gonna take it with me when I go traveling again. So I don't know what to do, but I'm just done with flying drones and stuff like that. It's really hard to get it up in the air to begin with here in LA. So, but yeah, just be aware of this contract that comes from the Association of Realtors. Give a call to your state association of realtors and ask them if there's such form. Uh, that's something that I was gonna do either way, is to give them a call directly and saying that, are you making them to sign this contract, or is this just a contract because they just want to save their butts? And can I provide, like, furthermore, can I make like a solid, like super like a two, just like a 2-page contract? Because right now what I have is just the terms and conditions. That because real estate photography for the past 3 years has been nothing but a business transaction. You know, just like, or a service transaction where you provide your service and in exchange they get the photos. But more and more and more, uh, there's rules and regulations being applied now and enforced. But I'm not sure if they're being enforced. Like I said, these people tend to hmm, mislead or save their butt in regards, like, they're making me do it, not me. So I want to talk about, because I don't agree with this contract either way, and hence why I dashed the lines and then put my initials on it. Yeah, but yeah, that's something that's been happening. And if an agent cries about those lines over the contract, they can sue me. I don't know. I don't care, honestly. Like, I uh yeah, I reserve my thoughts on that. But you can do this with any contract, by the way. If you don't agree with something, you just cross the line, give your initials, and that's it. Like, you don't have to agree with it unless they change the wording, or you come into a conclusion that, uh, yeah. The last paragraph right here, it says the MLS rules. MLS rules generally contain restrictions against and have the right to impose citations on its MLS participants an instance of refuse of images by subs- subsequently, oh gosh, my eyes, and I can't even pronounce the word. Real estate license, who fail to obtain prior art written authorization from the original REL or appropriate party with the legal right to reproduce and display such images. Hmm, interesting. Yeah, that just means that if they don't have the right, a written or verbal approval of using the images, they have the right to cite and punish real estate agents who are using it. But yeah, that's the thing that's been happening. This just gives me another big reason to strengthen my terms and conditions, and now a huge contract that they need to sign now. Because before it was just like a, by purchasing this service, you agree to the terms and conditions that I have placed. That's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 3 years. But now that this is happening, I would like to have my own contract. So I'm going to be discussing that with a legal rep. Uh, but yeah, fun times, fun times. So I can see that. That's why next year I think a lot of these photographers out there, maybe they they just sign away and they don't care. But like I said, a lot of photographers here, they don't care about putting fake grass or alter the photo in a way that is not really true. So that's why you have to be very, very careful with how you edit the photos and making sure that what you're producing is real and true. Because if the this is it's not going to happen to me, it never will. And we say until it happens. But yeah, this is a terrible way to end the stream. It's been 15 minutes, but I needed something to talk about, and I needed to review this contract one more time. But yeah, um, sorry for ending it that way, but this is a wake up call to reality that you know they're trying to take over your work, and they can sell it how they see fit, and that doesn't sit right with me. Because the agent even told me that they have another form that they can write to each other or agree upon for the images if they happen to sell your images to somebody else. That doesn't sit right with me, and it doesn't sit right with me that the photographer still be liable for any damages and harm. That is absolutely ridiculous. Um, because if that's the case, then you shouldn't have to give away your rights to the photo, and you still have to you still have control. That's one of the copyrights here in the US is so tricky. Um, but I guess they have to be educated on intellectual property, which Matthew Anderson or Andrews, I'm so sorry if I don't know your full name, your full government name, um, talks about this intellectual property, and I even saw it today. Today, oh man, let me see if I can screenshot it. Uh, let's see. But yeah, this person, she did a commercial photo shoot, and now she got hit with an email saying, yeah, let me see if I can do this real quick. Ah, man, how can I do this without revealing it too much? Like, I don't want to put my whole information out there. Ooh. And I don't want her information getting out there too, as well. So let me adjust this real quick and see if sorry, I'm erasing her name. Uh, all right. And let me adjust this. No, there we go. Oop, let me see. Let me do window capture. Probably did a terrible job of hiding her name, but I did my best. So yeah. So long story short, she took photos, and now I believe the interior designer wants to use her photos, and yeah, see, so it happens. That's why you don't have to. You don't need to sign your rights away. Yeah, she sends the email saying, "Morning, trust you are well. I asked my client if I can use the blah 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 the apartment pics on my Instagram, which he confirmed I could, and sent me your link, but the link was expired. So these things happen. This is why you need to have your terms and conditions or your contracts all written up. This is serious, and this is where like the boys become men, or whatever the saying is, because you need to protect yourself in terms of that. So there's two options that she can, you know, handle this. Is either one, maintain a relationship with this interior designer for work in the future and say like, you know what, sure, blah blah blah. But she wants two full apartment photo shoots that she did. So all the work, all the editing, everything, all the expenses. And she just wants to get it for free. Does that sit right with anybody? Like, this is your production. And I love how agents always say, like, well, I give you the opportunity. No, this is a business transaction, man. Like, this is a service that you're purchasing. But you have your own rules. Like any other business, have waivers, have contracts that before you enter the facilities. Anyway, so this is going to be a really big problem, I think, going moving forward little by little, because now I'm starting to see more people coming forward with this type of situations, where they get hit with an email saying like, "Hey, my client told me that I can use your photos, so can you please send me the link?" Uh, but yeah, the first option is kind of stupid, in my opinion. If you just want to give away the rights of the photos, because at the end of and this is why everybody and their moms are doing photography, because they don't care about it. That's why the market for photography right now is in shambles. Uh, Especially the real estate photography sense, not the architectural. Architectural photography, I think everybody knows what to do. But the real estate photography market is in shambles because of things like this. Like, people are getting away with, you know, doing this favors, or I don't know. Yeah, it's my blood boil because it's sad. Because if it was any other photographers, I mean, luckily she's asking a Facebook group on what to do. There's 28 comments, as you can see, and they're all saying like, no, she needs, if she wants the two full apartments photo shoots that you did, that you worked so hard on, and clearly she likes the photos that you produce, then she needs to pay. It's that simple, you know. But it comes to a sense like, my client confirmed that I can use it. No, this is, oh my god, it's so difficult for anybody to grasp the idea of that. If you're a photographer, you own the intellectual property rights to the photos, to the art, or the style that you create. And And that has happened to me too, where it's like, oh, I saw that uh the link. I cannot find the link. Can you please send it to me? All that stuff. Uh so when you get to that point, you start seeing or you start viewing that industry a little bit different if you're not protected. That's why I tell everybody to stay protected, have a contract, strengthen your terms and conditions, actually put real thought into it before you're you have clients and whatnot. Because for me, it is not correct that you work something and it's being sold, to other people to use your work with no credit, no nothing, no payment. That's the worst part. No payment at all. So these things actually do happen out there, and stay protected. You know, give it a thought or two about how to move forward with this. But yeah, it's a real case right now where, you know, most most of the most of the photographers are actually producing great content. They got to a point where it's almost similar to some of the good photographers out there. But if you don't have nothing to back that up, they the client can do whatever they want with the photos, and they get away with it over and over and over again. So your $165 photo shoot may be superb or to a high quality uh, standard, but just keep in mind that some people they're doing this type of stuff behind your back. So that's why I always tend to look back, going back to the beginning of this video about keeping track of your clientele and how the listing is doing, because that's how I caught one person that she sold the photos to this other agent just because she was fired, and she wanted to recover the money. uh, yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Again, sucks that I ended it this way, but it is real. This is the real world that I live in. You know, it's not all sunshine. I make $1 million. I don't care what happens to the photos, um, unless I get my $1 million. Because volume, 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 volume. This is the reason why I don't take volume as a great success. Unlike these other people, is because things like that happens, and they actually, if the people say like, "Well, I'm succeeding," I don't care because I have volume. It doesn't matter. It doesn't sit right because you ruin other people's market by just saying like, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, you could be my client later on in life, and you never hear back from them ever again. So if you're gonna jump on this, do things right, and if you're doing it for money, yeah, I mean, much success to you. Uh, but yeah, it sucks that this market is so it's very easy to start, but if the mentality and the way that you structure your business doesn't change, then you're just ruining it for everybody else. It's my 2 cents. But yeah, all right. Damn, got dark at the end, but it is real. All right, you guys know what to do. Subscribe, leave a comment, ask me any questions. I'll be back tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. This whole past week, I just been trying to look for more houses to photograph and people. So, I have. had any. I want to show you my recent photo shoot, but just nasty apartments. It's not a wow factor. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, I have something to talk about tomorrow because I feel like I talk about everything today, even though it's been an hour. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later.